My name is Kemi Wali Olaiso, and I'm convening this program today. I want us to look at in the next 2 days, yes, on the 8th of March, will be celebrating the International Women's Day. It's a global holiday celebrated annually on the 8th of March as a focal point in the women's rights movement. Is to bring attention to all women issues, gender equality, reproductive rights, violence against women, and all such issues. And it was set up by the United Nations. And for a while now, it's been celebrated yearly. Women in the West have been doing a lot during the celebration. You have series of seminars, walk through cities, to call awareness to it. But as young women, I've had calls to discuss with young women who have different perspective to that particular issue. So that's why I want us to look at it from a different perspective, So, but let's take off. Let's start by introducing ourselves. So I think I'll take it as I can see it here. Angelique, you go first, then Jennifer, then Barbara, then Ellen, then Abhishek, in that order. So let's go.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Angelique Heyman Apedo. I'm currently a student at the African University College of Communications. And I love reading and writing a lot, music and eating junk food. So that's just a little bit about me.
All right. Please don't forget to tell us where you're based.
I'm based in Accra. I live with my family.
In Ghana. All right.
Yeah.
Jennifer? Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. Okay. All right, go ahead.
Okay. Hi guys. My name is Jennifer Panga, a student at AUCC, currently in Accra, Ghana, and I like cooking. Cooking is my favorite because
wow.
I love cooking. Yeah.
All right, Barbara.
Hello. Good afternoon. My name is Barbara. I'm also in Accra, Ghana. And I'm a student of African University College of Communications. I love reading. I love reading. I also enjoy going out and exploring new things. Yes.
Great. Thank you. Ellen?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ellen Chima. Please, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Okay. My name is Ellen Chua Chima. I'm currently a student at African University College of Communications. And I'm in Accra, Ghana. I love research a lot because I want to know a little bit about everything. Because I was the type that, I was ignorant of things. So recently, I love to research, know a little about everything. And that is what I can say for now.
Thank you. Nice. So let's head to Nigeria. Let's meet Moi Olua.
Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. I studied literature in English, and I like to say I'm essentially a writer because I think that is the one thing that I know how to do without needing any extra preparation. Yes. For work, I do brand and digital communication strategy for a publishing company. What else? Yeah, that's it for now.
All right, thank you. Shalom.
Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Good
Hi.
evening.
Hi.
My name is Shaba Shalom. I graduated from the Department of Literature and English at Obafemi Awolowo University. For work, I currently work as Director of Publishing at Gemsbird Publishing, and I run a food business in Ibadan
We need to talk
simultaneously.
about that, you know. All right. All right.
I enjoy reading and writing also. That's
Good.
basically.
Thank you. Finally, Abhishek. That's me too.
Hello,
Hi.
good evening, everyone. It's a
Good evening.
privilege to be part of this group.
Good,
Thanks
yeah,
for the
no problem.
opportunity. My name is Abhishek Sewako, and I'm currently an English teacher. I love research and I love writing, and I love dealing with children. Especially, I love research that has to do with women development and children learning empowerment. Thank you.
Thank you. However, your where you are is quite noisy. I'll suggest you know, move away from that noisy place, please. If you can find a more quiet place, please, so that we can enjoy your contributions. Finally, Kekeli's phone. Kekeli, let's meet you.
Hi, my name is Kekeli. I'm based in Ghana. Yeah, I'm a finance analyst at Bendy's Ghana. Yeah, I'm also into farming and other.
Wow. I
Thank
love
you.
women farmers. Welcome. So welcome all. Let's just dive into it. We don't have much time usually because this is going to go on YouTube, so I don't want it to exceed 25-30 minutes at most. So okay, somebody else is coming in now. Who is this? So let's take off from here. How many of us are aware of the International Women's Day? And if you are aware, are you interested in it in any way? Do you think it's something that is very important that can make an impact in your life? Let's take a few comments on that.
I'd like to start.
Okay, go ahead, Angelique.
So I have been aware of it for a while. Initially, I really didn't care about it as International Women's Day. I felt it was just another way of tokenism. People just trying to do something to make women feel like they were important. But in the end, we still end up dealing with the same problems over and over again. So I met one friend who made me understand that I should pay more attention to the day. I should be interested in it. So I started. Then I think last year the theme was breaking the. I'm not so sure about it, but last year's theme was about breaking the bias.
The barrier.
Yes, the barriers. I paid attention to it and I found that it's something that I am interested in. So from being aware of it to like having an interest in it, I realized that yes, I do want to be a part of International Women's Day in any small way that I can.
That's Angelique's perspective. Let's look generally. Does anyone feel that generally? Let's talk to the Ghana group now. That Ghanaian women are interested in such issues? Are they? Okay, Ellen.
If if I can start. I
Go
don't
ahead.
think we are, because I think it's been um, celebrated by people who are well-to-do in Ghana. That is how I'll put it. Because I personally, I wasn't really aware of International Women's Day. No, I do hear it, but as Angelique said, I thought it's one of the days just to um, make women feel better. But after attending several conferences on it about women empowerment, I think last year I attended one at Alisa Hotel, whereby we had um, the second lady of Ghana speaking to us on women empowerment. And I feel most of the seminars that I've attended is the same issues over and over again, and nothing has been done. So for women in Ghana, International Women's Day, you see people sending flyers on WhatsApp and other things, but what goes into Women's Day, it's not really spread across. Because yesterday, taking a look at what goes in International Women's Day, I thought that day is just people sending flyers, Happy Women's Day, and all that, and that ends it. Apart from people who are well-to-do, let me put it that way, that will hold conference, and only those that are again well-to-do will attend such seminars. Aside that, and you see only few people. When we went to Alisa Hotel for that program, we were only few people that came, and these people are those in the media organizations. Yes, most of them were coming from the media organizations because I think they know much about the International Women's Day.
All right, so you have just told us that it doesn't seem to affect women generally. Ore, Nimi, welcome to the program this evening. Let's head to Nigeria. We've heard two young women from Ghana telling us that it doesn't seem to have any impact generally on women here in Ghana. In Nigeria, we are very flamboyant. We love to do things, in big ways. So I know that for years we've been having series of programs, every March 8. But then the question is for young women, university women, let's say, on campus or maybe recently graduated and all that. Do you feel that the celebration of the International Women's Day can or has had any strong impact on women? Who wants to take the first? Okay, Moi.
I think that it is a way to bring light to the issues that women face. In my opinion, I don't even think one day in a year is enough, right? Because there are a lot of issues faced by both genders already, talk less of the many that women alone face. And, these things can be forgotten. For instance, pay gap, women's education, abortion rights, if you may, and even period leaves, right? So these are things that somehow we know about them, but there aren't conversations going on enough to resound it in the heads of the minds of those who matters, those who can make policies to say, okay, we need to put these things in place for women. So I think March 8th for International Women's Day is a day it's like women everywhere are speaking at once. So the volume that day is louder than it could ever be. So I think it's just a way to remind people, okay, women are going through this, women want to do this, and this is how you can help, this is how you can make the situation better or, less uncomfortable for women. So it's just a way to bring light to the issues that women face for me.
Okay, but how much light has it brought so far? Let's look at the past decade, for example. One other person from Nigeria.
Okay, so I think I'm going to ride on Moyin's point and say that it's a day where there's a lot of noise about female issues. We have a lot of programs that are organized by radio stations, TV stations, people organize pitch contests to fund women-owned businesses and all of that. But I still feel like there's a lot of conversation, but very little action. Almost like all of the buzz and the noise stops on that day, and people forget female issues and the fact that there are actions to be backed up with those conversations after March. Like it just stops there.
Now I can, from the way the discussion is going, both from the Ghana end here and the views from Nigeria, it's like it's a media buzz. It's not really affecting the real women. So can we say now that is it that the style of the presentation, the celebration is not appropriate for African women's life, or is something wrong in the way it's been, the celebrations are being carried out, or is there a more fundamental issue? Let's come back to Ghana. Jennifer or who else? Or Barbara? Any of you want to?
Can I please come in?
Okay,
Hi,
Ellen.
that's Ellen.
All right.
So, as I was saying earlier, I feel it's mostly done by the well-to-do people in our communities. For instance, when you organize such programs at Alisa Hotel, and then with the intention to let a lot of women come there and listen to what you have for women. I don't think my mother, who feels she's not up to that class, will be able to come to Alisa
Or
Hotel.
the Makola women.
Exactly, to listen to a program, a conference that is held at Alisa Hotel. I don't think so. There should be more. There should be another strategy to get most women involved. And I don't think some women in the village even knows about International Women's Day. I don't think they've even heard of something like that.
Oh.
You go to USA and a day like this, you see maybe women on the street or something campaigning or doing something. But in Ghana, you only see it organized in areas, in hotels and other big places that sometimes you even need tickets to attend. For instance, for the Alisa Hotel like this, I think it was one of our lecturers in school who thought of getting us ticket for us to attend, for us to listen. And then when I went there and I listened to what they were saying, it really empowered me. And from that moment, I began to take decisions for myself. So if not because I was given the opportunity to attend such conference, I'll be at my corner, not knowing what is going on. I'll just be at home, and then someone will just send me Happy International Women's Day, and I also reply, same to you, and that will be all. And I don't know anything about it. I will not even bother to go on Google to search what is International Women's Day.
Thank you very much for that,
So,
that personal experience you have brought into it, and very key. Kekeli, before we head back to Nigeria, you being a working woman, a farmer, and I'm sure you're closer to the women at the other end, the Makola women, and all that. Do you agree with Ellen's position?
Um, what I'd like to say to that is that when it comes to Africa, we have a lot of problems.
Hmm.
And Ghana has a lot of problems. To now come in, the ordinary woman will be thinking about International Women's Day. Like they say problem no they finish, but we honestly have too many problems too. And also the day is not commercialized or maybe talked about enough. So the ordinary woman does not even know why there is a day set aside for women, what brought about it, who even started the movement. And you only see it by on social media. You see influencers promoting it, but when it comes to our mothers, those who hardly use WhatsApp or Facebook or are out there, the ordinary farmers, the market women, a lot of them don't even like yes, a lot of them don't even know that there's a day like that. It just comes and it goes by. So it does not have an impact in the least bit, in my opinion. Yeah, it really doesn't have an impact. So
All right, Abishag, let's hear you. You know, by the way, I thought that you were actually in Nigeria. Now I now I get it. Abishag, please go ahead. Abishag, are you there?
First of all, I'd like to say that it's high time as Africans we accept and embrace our identity and our culture. It should be a plus to modernization, not a neglect or a takeoff. Because with programs like this, I think we have neglected the impact of grassroots level impact and all that. Because yes, they are saying it's an International Women's Day, but how do I get my mom to be interested? We have to move from up there, having those programs at the hotels, and come down, go to the markets, go to the shops, and have a talk with them, one-on-one talks with them, something like that. Then they feel that, okay, yes, they are important, that they also have a voice. But if you keep doing it up there at the hotels and thinking that our mothers and our aunties would be involved or they would show an interest, it wouldn't be. And there comes a time where there are conflicts between the average African woman and the modern African woman, not because they are enemies, but because there is no bridge for the two to embrace where each other is coming from.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Abigail. I mean, you have just hit the nail on the head, as it were. They need to create a link or a bridge between the elite women and the women at the lower rung. But do we have that kind of issue in Nigeria? What do you think? Usually, there's this belief that Africans, you know, although we're not monolithic in our thoughts or even in our lifestyle, but there are a lot of things that are kind of common to us. Do you agree that this is the same thing in Nigeria? Do we need to consider this, re-strategize the celebration? Shalom.
Okay. So I think in Nigeria, there's a barrier, but it's not so wide. I feel like people in the media space, radio station, newspaper, mainstream media have tried their best to incorporate both the older generation and our generation into the celebration of the International Women's Day.
Thank you. Ora is back. Ora, welcome
Thank
back.
you.
Shalom was just talking about you and your involvement a while ago in the celebration. Now, do you agree with our Ghanaian group that there is that schism between the elite women and the grassroots women? Are we doing something wrong, or do we need to re-strategize, or do we just need to modify? I want us to talk about that before I come back to another very critical issue that Kekeli raised the other time. But let's hear you, Ore. Please unmute. Yeah.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. I'm so sorry. My network has been all over the place. And I was just about to speak or to respond to Shalom, Moi, and the other speakers. I think that the media perspective or trajectory, so to speak, towards celebrating the International Women's Day is a starting point, is a good starting point. As a media person, usually you hear shows on the radio that day celebrating women throughout. We have guest speakers, women guest speakers most of the time, come on different shows just to, enlighten people.
Yeah. Kekeli was saying that African women are so preoccupied with so many issues. I mean, issues of taking care of their home, their children, trying to make a living because of their weakness, economically speaking, and there's so many other issues that they are confronted with. That the issue of whether they want to fight for equality, it's something that is far, far away from their mind. Do you think that is a valid point? Should this even be considered, or do we just need to modify or re-strategize the system that has been put in place for the celebration?
Dr. Kemi, please, can I come in?
Please, let's hear Barbara.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I think the point Kekeli raised is actually accurate, because the average woman or the average Ghanaian woman is concerned about raising a home. And I do not blame them, because it stems out from where they came from or their upbringing. As you said, the Makola woman like this, if you should engage her in a conversation about women, all she would tell you is that our place, we are not supposed to fight for a place with the men. We are not even supposed to be all out and about. All the woman or the African woman is supposed to be concerned about is, selling her goods, going back home, cooking, looking after the children. And that's their build up. That's how they were brought up. And I don't blame them. I used to be in that side, but now I get so infuriated when I hear that women, our place is just in the kitchen, or our place is behind the scenes.
So how did you get to where you are now? Was it not programs like this that help you to sharpen your focus?
Yes, exactly. Growing up in a typical African home, you are being taught that a woman is supposed to be in the kitchen taking care of the whole family, and the men are supposed to be going out there and working and bringing the money. But as I go out there, I learn, research, and all these programs, it has really opened my mind and my eyes to see what actually a woman is. And we are not just subjected to a small little corner that just go and cook and that's it. I believe that the woman has more power and more authority if given the chance, but we have not been given the chance, and that's a sad one. And how I changed my mind, I began to observe, and I felt like, no, women, even I think women have more capabilities than men. Women have more capabilities than men. And we've always been pushed back. But put a woman in a position where a man is occupying, and you realize that the woman performs so extraordinarily, and you'll be asking yourself, why will we then be pushed to the back?
But now it said that we have reached that point now, that we seem to have reached a conclusion that whether we're doing it, whether the world is doing it the right way for African women or not, the fact that the International Women's Day is being celebrated is actually a right course. So now it's how can it be domesticated, so that it will impact African women? Is it true that we need to re-strategize? Do we need to think of different ways by which African women will be touched? That is the crux of the matter, I think, right now. Let's head to Nigeria and hear from Moi. Oh, please hold on. Ellen, you wanted to say something. Oh, Barbara. Okay, please quickly say something before I go back to Barbara.
I wanted to say that we were saying an African woman is so busy to think about fighting for equality. But what I think is that unconsciously they do fight for it.
Mm-hmm.
Unconsciously they do fight for it. But as to know the platform to use to fight for equality, that is what they don't know. Because if you are to sit down with your mother and then talk to her emotionally, she will say things that under normal circumstances she's not supposed to say to a child. That is why I'm saying unconsciously they do think about equality. Yes.
So we're right to say that we need to re-strategize. Barbara.
Exactly.
Let's hear you quickly.
Yes, I think we have to re-strategize, because our sister made a point earlier that the awareness, the Women's Day awareness, it's even to just a particular group, that's the educated, especially women in the media. And I believe we have to re-strategize that awareness vehicle, because the average woman or the average local woman does not even know her rights. So we would have to go down to their level. This social media influencers, for instance, most of them just casualize this International Women's Day. It's like something we have to do for everyone to see. So they just make a flyer or take a nice picture and they write under it International Women's Day, Happy International Women's Day. And you don't really see the importance, you don't see the substance in that. But I feel in order for us to get to the local women, we also have to go down to their level, educate them on their rights, and let them know that a woman is not just subjected to the kitchen or taking care of the kids, but a woman is also powerful, and we can achieve more in doing that than just, focusing on just seminars for women in school, the educated women, and leaving the other women behind. So that's my point.
All right, Barbara is in. I'm sorry, Jennifer is in now. Jennifer, let's hear you before we go to Moi. Angelique, I'll come back to you. Jennifer, let's hear you.
Yeah, I think what I wanted to add up is basically what Barbara said. A typical African woman, like we all said, has a whole lot going on, to the extent that they feel like there's no interest in this International Women's Day or whatever it is. And to me, I think that the reason why they are not showing interest in it is because they are not being educated about the importance or what actually the International Women's Day is all about. So when that happens, they feel like, okay, what at all am I going to do there? And then it looks like it's only the elite's voice is being heard more than the ordinary Ghanaian women.
Wow. Okay. Let's head to Nigeria. Moyi, let me add this to what you talk about. The year's theme, 2023's theme is digital. That is digital innovation and technology for gender equality.
Right.
I mean, digital innovation technology for Bere women, Dube women, or Makola or Tudu women in Accra. Hi.
Exactly.
So what do we do about that?
Okay, so as much as I think we like to deceive ourselves that women's issues are universal, they're really not. They may be interrelated, but depending on your socioeconomic status, that would determine what levels of women issues that you face. The average woman in the market is not concerned about things like wage gap. She is dealing more with maybe domestic issues, education, empowerment, and aside all of these things, two major factors. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, sure. We can hear you.
Yeah, we can,
Okay. All right. So two major factors that I think even determine their way of life more than the women in the urban areas are their culture and religion. So you can say anything and everything to try to teach a woman in the grassroots level about her rights and all, but if she's not ready to move past what culture and religion is dictating to her, you can't put her on the same pedestal with the woman in the urban area and say innovation and technology is what we are bringing to you for Women's Day. Their realities don't match. So I think despite what the movers of International Women's Day put forward each year, I think it is more our what's the word now, our duty to ensure that the solutions that we're providing are localized to include women everywhere. Because this year's theme now, it is very, very unrealistic for women across the world, especially Africa, Asia, maybe women in the West and Europe could probably benefit from it, but Africa as a whole, technology, I feel like the closest thing to technology for the average African woman may be these manual blenders, grinders.
Right.
So what are we saying? Technology. So I think
Some
just
don't
the way
even
she
have the
introduced
blenders.
it.
Some don't even have the blenders.
Thank you. So it's very, very much unrealistic. So a way to include these women by localizing the situation, the solution is what I think is a way forward.
Abhishek, your hand is up.
Yes. Yeah. Please, I've heard what we had to say, and I beg to differ a little bit. Yes. So I think this year's theme can work for African women. It can. Like I keep saying, yes, like I keep saying, whenever they say something global, for it to work at home for us, we need to always make sure it's cultural specific to our people, our women. Yes, they are saying international women, but as a group, what do we believe in? What are our idols when it comes to traditions and culture? I think if you're able to, I believe that is what's helping the Asian women, Chinese women. They find a way to blend modernization with their culture, so they would keep moving forward. That is one thing that African women need to embrace. So, like talking about technology, for example, I think mobile money, for example, like this. One time I was with my mom. She wanted me to help her, and I've been consistently helping her. But I was like, no, this time I'm not going to help you. I'm going to teach you how to do it, so that if I'm not around, you'll be able to do it. So I taught her how to copy and paste the numbers, and that is just a little step to technology and innovation. Now she knows how to copy and paste numbers. If someone wants her to send a number on WhatsApp, she knows how to do it. So maybe for African women, baby steps, and it's not far away from us. Maybe yes, the other people are there ready. It's not a race. Like I don't know whether it was Moyi or Barbara someone said, leave no woman behind. So whatever we have to do to carry all of us together in this race to make sure women are empowered, we can do it. So it goes beyond the blend. It goes beyond the blender using and all that. Like we can talk about the banking things, the mobile money, the WhatsApp, the social media. I think I don't know of Nigeria, but Ghanaian mothers are really embracing social media. They are. Like lately, I see my mom on Facebook watching one thing or the other, telling me that did I know that this or that. Sometimes I've not even heard the news, but she's already heard it. So I
Wow.
think this dream can come true. It can. It's not far away from Africa. It's just baby steps. Thank
you
you.
very much. Thank you so much, Abhishek. I mean, that's quite a quality contribution there. I think we should begin to wind down here on this. Angelique, I'll come to you in a minute. Our focus here for this particular group discussion for this time is on the International Women's Day, and we're looking at how realistic is it for African women, and especially the theme for 2023. How can we imbibe it, and how can we help to get the issues therein trickle down? So it's been wonderful, you all. Your contributions have been so valuable. Before I ask each of you to make your last contribution, 30 seconds each, let's hear Angelique. Unmute yourself, Angelique.
Okay. So thank you again for this opportunity. I have realized that for some of us who embrace International Women's Day, we do it as a form of tokenism, even with the men who are claiming that they support the issues of women. Well, it's International Women's Day. Everybody is posting, so let me post. We don't check on the resources that we can use to support the issues at hand. We haven't sat down to think of, we have ministries that are dedicated to the issues of women, children, gender, all of that. Those ministries, during that time, you don't see them do anything. So you keep wondering, what is the use of that ministry in particular? Like, why are you there? Then your ministry should be scrapped from the system. Now we know that you don't exist, and then there is no need for us to be sitting down and talking about women issues, trying to fight for women to have a say or a seat at the table. And the issue about technology, I have come to realize that a certain percentage of African women believe that science and tech is not for us. Ours is to sit down at home, watch the man do the science and tech stuff. So when your kitchen faucet is broken, you sit down for the man to come and fix it when you can fix it yourself. Your light bulb dies. You can go and buy a light bulb, stand on a stool or something. No, you sit down and fold your arms for the man to come in. If you want technology to have a place in your life, you'd also have to start embracing it little by little. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to do the big stuff, like invent a rocket that is going to Mars. But my bed is broken. How can I also fix that broken bed? Do I necessarily have to wait for somebody to come from somewhere to come and fix the bed? And whilst the person is at it, might even end up saying something incredibly offensive just because I came out of my mother's womb as a woman. Like, these things are part of the reason why I believe that technology is one of the main focuses for this year's celebration. So it's going to be step by step, as Abhishek said. We should try as much as possible to add to encourage the women in our lives, the everyday Makola woman. Ma, if your light bulb is broken, do it this way. And also, we should stop doing it in English. Like, some of these women don't understand what we are saying in the white man's language. Bring it down in the language that the person will understand in. There are so many people on this earth who can understand all the languages on this earth. So why don't we use the languages that they are fluent in? Some women can even read and write in their local languages way better than in the foreign language. So let's start from there. Teach the person that, please, for those of you who don't understand Chi, I'm about to speak Chi. If you do it like this, it becomes like this. If you say this to the machine, you get this response. Say it in the local language, the person will begin to understand. But if we stand up and sit on our TVs and on the radio set and just say everything in English all the time, who is going to understand what you are saying? It's always going to end up being the elite woman, the educated woman who is going to, and for some educated women, they don't even care. They're like, yeah, it's always women, women, women. You people are just making noise. Me, I'm comfortable. Whatever happens.
Wow. Thank you so much, Angelique. You've also raised a few other issues, but I believe some of those issues will be our focus for the second program, that second discussion that we will have next, because that we will be looking at young women and gender issues, feminism, and then culture, religion, and all that, the whole shenanigans, if you like. We'll look at everything. And the contradictions, actually, that we have in young people's lives. I'm talking of young women today. So these are all we'll focus on in the next discussion that we will have. But for today, we have focused on the International Women's Day and the African women realities and how real is it for African women. And I want to thank you all for your wonderful contributions. Now, those of you who want to make last comments, please, just in 30 seconds or less. I'll start with Ellen, please. Ellen?
Dr. Kemi, I want to say a very big thank you for such a platform. How I wish we could talk about this over and over again. Get more time for this, because we were talking about technology, and then everyone, most of us are talking. I feel, if I'm to go straight to the point, I feel the business of this International Women's Day is making every woman know who she is, and it's really important. Before technology, for a moment, I felt all those leaders who brings up this topic for every year, it's from the Western part of the world. Because if they are in Ghana or any part of African country, the person will sit down and say, no, the business now is to make them understand who they are. And that is the first step to women empowerment or women equity or women equality. Because after attending the seminars, I went home, I saw my mom going around selling, and then she will come back home, go and buy stuffs, come and prepare food, and then other things in the house. So I sat her down. I told her, no. In the beginning, they said God cursed woman, and that is childbearing, and the man is supposed to also stress with work. But today, women are also stressing with work. So, mommy, you don't need to stress yourself with work and childbearing at the same time. At least, dad is supposed to take part of the work, And I sat my father down. I said, yes, you are supposed to do that. Help mommy,
like that.
do that. And
I
now
like
when you
that.
go home, he's also taking part of the duties at home,
Wow.
reducing some of the stress that my mom is supposed to go through. So I feel the first step to International Women's Day celebration or women equality or women equity is first making them know who they are, and that is and that is the basis. After that, if they come to know who they really are as a woman and the power that they have to make decisions, they will take the step to learn technology, the use of technology. No one will ask them to do so.
Thank you,
growing
Ellen.
up,
Thank you, Ellen. Please round up. Our time
okay,
is
you
fast
will
spent.
end there. Then
Yeah.
that is what I would say. Making women know who they are.
Who they are.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Ore.
Welcome.
Unmute yourself, please. Unmute? Okay, go on. Hello, we
just say
okay, go on.
that celebrating the International Women's Day is a step in the right direction. However, we want to, flip it and look at. Can you hear me?
Yes, it's off and on, but go on. Just make it, real short. Unmute, please. Unmute yourself. You are still muted. Okay, go on. I'm sorry. Please, maybe you change your location again, please. While we wait that, so that we don't waste our time. Barbara, let's have you. 45 seconds, please. Let's have you. Go on, Barbara. Our time is running.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Thank you. I believe with all these issues surrounding the International Women's Day, I believe we have to start from the root. We have to bring the men in as well. It shouldn't just be centered on the women, because if we are going to make any progress, we have to bring the men in. Because as Angelique was saying, maybe if you have a problem with your light bulb, you can just stand on a stool and fix it. But our fathers will tell you that, hey, you're a woman, what are you doing? Women don't fix bulbs. So we have to also bring the men in, educate them, let them know that women are also capable of this. If you do this, it doesn't take your womanhood away from you. If you involve yourself in this, it doesn't make you less of a woman. So that's my closing remark, that we should also include or involve the men in this change that we want.
Thank you so much.
Thank you too.
Thank you so much, Barbara. All right, can we try you now? Go on.
Yes, Mark, can you hear me now?
Yes, let's try it. Oh, you know what? I think I'll have you. I'll talk to you after all this, please. I'll talk to you through Mui. There is something we can do. At least take that comment, because I really am interested in hearing, your final comment. Who else wants to have? Okay, Abhishek, you want to say something finally? 40 minutes, 40 seconds.
Yeah, but it's okay.
Yes,
First
please.
of all, thank you, Mami, for this opportunity and this avenue. And thank every one of us for joining and making our voices heard. My final words would be that I've got three things to say. The first thing is indigenization of international concepts to
Hmm.
help the African woman.
Hmm.
Yes, we
Good.
can, no matter what, we are Africans and we are people of culture and traditions. And no matter how much we run away from it, for us to move forward as a people, we have to acknowledge our culture and make it work for us
Hmm.
in these contemporary times. The
Thank
second
you.
is that we can't do this work alone. Like Barbara said, we have to involve the men somehow. The
Good.
men have to join us in this race to make the world a better place.
Thank you.
Last thing I would like to say, this is something that has been done, be feminine. We can be all that we have to be.
Oh.
We could cook, we could bath the children, we could raise too. We have the
Okay.
potential for a lot of things. So link up our femininity with versatility so that we
Okay.
can be everything we ever dreamed to be. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Abhishek. Thank you. Shalom. Let's hear you.
Okay, thank you so much, Ma, for putting this together again. And I think Abhishek took the words right out of my mouth, because I was going to say that for consequent International Women's Day, I think we should start looking at the diversity of women that we have in the world and how we can include African issues in picking these things. So while I agree with what everybody has said about the inclusion of technology in female issues, I still believe that we have more indigenous issues. And we're still far away from technology. We're getting there, but there are other issues that we need to address. So my last question would be that, are Africans actually involved in picking these things? Or is it a Western thing that we just receive and chew on and run on that way?
Exactly, that was what I was saying, my dear. It's like as though certain people in the Western country just raise the topic and then we have to follow.
Exactly. So if it's possible, if we can have our own thing. We don't have
That's
to be
all.
unified
Precisely.
in this, because we're not unified in our struggles.
Precisely.
I mean, there are
We have to
general
deal with
struggles,
business
but we're
before
still
technology.
different.
Go on, Shalom.
Yeah, basically what she was saying, that we have different issues. Technology is important, but we have different things. We have women that are struggling to even work because they have spouses that don't agree for them to work.
Yeah.
We have women that don't have access to their children, that don't have access to money, that don't have access to a bank account in local places because they have domineering husbands. We have places that women are still not allowed to speak. There are places in the northern part of Nigeria that females don't have access to education. We are a far cry away from technology. We need to face local issues, and then in the future, I mean, we'll definitely get to technology and all of that. Thank you,
you
Ma.
so much. Thank you. I thank all of you for this wonderful time out that we've had. It's been so interesting, and it's it's such a great. I've had such a great time, and then it's so interesting that we have this varieties of issues that are all surrounding the gender issue. So that tells me that subsequently, if we have programs like this, discussions like this, we will never be want of issues to discuss. And I'm working on getting, young women from South Africa, from East Africa, from North Africa, so that we can all rub minds regularly, and eventually we can put out there the African women views about such things, and who knows where that could lead us. We may be able to push our case out there into the United Nations so that we can have the African version of the maybe we can have International African Women's Day, you know, something like that. Well, who knows? It can happen. Thank you so much, Barbara, Ellen, Moyi, Abishag, Angelique, Shalom, Ore, all of you. I really, really, really appreciate this time out that we've had. So please, we'll get back to you. The next one, I don't know. Our time is fast spent today, so maybe tomorrow or next in the evening like that we'll find time, because one more, at least for this time, I scheduled 2 recordings. So we've had one. Thank you. The next one will be general. Thank you so much for being part of the program tonight. I appreciate your joining, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. God be with you all, and enjoy the International Women's Day on Wednesday. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you.
Love you all. Bye.
Love you too.
Love you
Bye.
too. Bye.